don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
KBLA Talk 1580. One of the things that I think a lot about every time I travel to Africa, which is where we are now, broadcasting from Nigeria, Benin, and Ghana. Miles Lowe, Dominique DiPrima, and 52 of our newest friends, along with African Focus Incorporated, of course, KBLA 1580. I always think about the role of the women, because the stereotype is that African women are more repressed. And we are going to meet someone tomorrow who's doing work with women here in Africa, someone we met by chance who is very, very interesting. But at the same time, Zambia has a woman president, and Tanzania has a woman president, and Liberia had a woman president in the past. And that's not something that we've had yet in America. The United States of America is what I mean by that. And so getting to sit down and talk with this woman who is part of the royal family here. She's the daughter of the Alake, and she's a princess. She's highly educated. She's highly, resourced, but at the same time, not at all what our stereotype of the African woman is, or the African, certainly princess. This ain't coming to America, okay? This is coming to Africa, coming to Nigeria. And what I've noticed beyond just the royal family, women in business, even in the household, is that they are very active, very independent, and the value in education here is super strong in a way that's become the reliable pathway. I can't really say reliable because not everyone has access to it, but it's become the most reliable access to another lifestyle. I think the middle class here is fairly small from what I can see. It's mostly haves and have-nots, especially in Nigeria, where you do have wildly wealthy people. It's funny because the stereotype is the Nigerian prince, and that's the scammer. But in reality, we've been here a week and we've met a Nigerian king, a Nigerian princess, real life ones, and a king from Benin. And so all of this is to say that the reality that those stereotypes are based on is much more complex, much more interesting. And the African woman has a leadership role, sometimes in a way that we don't see with American women. And I'm not even talking about African American women. I'm talking about women in general. Now we know we, the 92%, the African American women, and African Americans in general, create our own lanes for leadership. We are the moral leadership of the world. I'm not diminishing that. What I'm talking about is the acceptance in society, the opening of space in society for women to go to the very top of the heap, to actually be president. We haven't done it yet in America, in the United States of America. Haven't made it happen. It's happening right now in Zambia and Tanzania. And of course, it happened in the past in Liberia, and I believe there's one or two other countries, at least one other that is not coming to mind, that have had women as presidents. And so talking with this princess, who also happens to be a PhD, I hope it will give you some insight into the movement in Africa towards unity and towards, I'd say, a new renaissance of development and world leadership, but also a glimpse of the role that women can and do play in the motherland.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin Ultra Strong. You can use less, better than the rest. Charmin Ultra Strong. Your booty past the clean test. Salmon weave texture, it's the best. Study up, teach a lesson on fresh. Your booty past the clean test. Yes, sir. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin Ultra Strong with diamond weave texture cleans better than the leading one-ply brand, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Fabrice.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Fabrice Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Fabrice. La 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 la.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, man. Hey, what's up, What's that station you listening to? Oh, man, you don't know? That's Talk Radio. KBLA, 1580 AM. Check it out. 1580. KBLA AM. 1580 Talk Radio. Progressive.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're celebrating our 4th anniversary, and this track right here is the gift one of our devoted listeners presented to us.
Where you get some information, get a true education to know. Ooh, yeah. 1580.
How cool is that? Having a member of our KBLA delegation write us a song. Stop it! Our listeners love us and there ain't nothing we can do about it. Wouldn't want to. Thanks to Cardell and everybody else for turning on KBLA Talk 1580. We love you right black.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm here with Dr. Yaduni Badebo, and she's Director of Sales and Marketing for Eco Hotels and Suites, and she also happens to be a princess, and I'm not making that up. Your dad is actually a king.
Yes. Alake, the Alake of Egbaland, is the paramount ruler of Ogun State.
And we went and visited him. He welcomed us, but we didn't know that we had already met you. That's crazy.
I know that it's unfortunate, but anyway, no regrets. This is how we roll. You know, now that you know, the next time you're coming here, I'm going to show you Nigeria like you've never seen it before. I mean, I don't know where you've gone. I don't know what you've seen, but I will be more intentional about showing you the things that will keep bringing you back here. And that all the things that you hear about Nigeria, about Africa, is the propaganda that people want to make you hear. It's not all true. Some of it may be true, like, you know, how you constantly hear about the people who are scamming people all over the place. It happens anywhere in the world. But yes, you have a bigger cluster of people here that do that. But it's over 250 million people. Not all of us are like that.
250 million people in Nigeria. People don't realize how big this place is. And Lagos alone, a lot of our travelers are saying, wow, this is like New York. I wasn't expecting this.
Even the hustle and bustle of Lagos is very, very, very like New York. You know, it's the madness of it. It's never a dull moment. Day, morning, afternoon, night. It's a bustling city. So it's a beautiful space. And it has become a real cosmopolitan city, if you ask me. There's a lot of industries here. There's a lot of people, like businesses, serious businesses. I'm talking about, if you think about the oil companies, for instance, your top 5 are operating out of here. And as bad as people make it seem, they've been operating out of here since they found oil here. So there must be some gold here that they're digging. So we need to wake up and understand that it's intentional when they want us not to come to Africa or not to see Africa as anything good. But it's a beautiful, beautiful nation.
Yeah, this is my second trip to Nigeria, my 8th trip to Africa. I always discover great things. I always have a good time. But there's a certain group now of African Americans that believe that we're not welcome here, that Africans look down on us, they mock us, or they just want to exploit African Americans, and there's no love there.
This is weird that you say this. Like, if you're talking now, let's talk about Nigeria firstly, right? In Nigeria, we're the friendliest people that you would ever find. I'm sure that when you walked out on the streets and you saw even the villagers in Abeokuta, I'm sure everybody was like, oh, Oyinbo, Oyinbo, you know, they were being extra nice to you. When you don't assume that there's an intention with how people relate to you, you know, that there's an undertone that they want to constantly milk you. If you're not in that space, if your head hasn't been wired to believe that, then even if it happened, well, what's wrong with another black man trying to say hi or trying to get something off you? The honorable thing to do would be to ask, isn't it? Maybe he doesn't know how to ask. You know, so it can't all be the dark, gloomy nation that they've painted Africa to be. I'm African. I don't want anything from you other than come back home and see Africa more. I mean, again, I think one of the biggest issues that we have here is that we don't understand the power of storytelling. If you tell the right story about Africa, Africans will come back to Africa. But all the story that is being propagandized and being told to all of you guys is that, oh, when you come here, they're just going to milk you. They just want your passport. They don't. Yeah, well, to a large extent, you do have quite a number of hungry people in Africa because they've made Africa such a hungry nation. But if we collectively come together, if we come together with the intention of making Africa great, then I'm telling you, you would not see that person who's trying to swindle you as somebody who's trying to take from you. You will see it as a problem that becomes your responsibility to fix. You just see what I'm saying? Now, this is just trying to paint you the extreme side of it. But the reality is there's over 250 million people in Nigeria and counting.
250 million.
Over 250 million people. I can tell you that categorically. And a lot of us in the last, I would say 10 years, have gotten into something called the Jackpot syndrome. This is the run away from Africa syndrome. But that's also a narrative that's been propagandized. Why? Because they see that a lot of middle class to upper class Africans are sending their kids out abroad to get educated. And these guys are coming out with first class. They're getting up to PhD and doctorate degrees. And these are the people running the economies of all the other countries. And they're keeping you there with a stable, you know, economic situation, with a good standard of living, basic stuff like, you know, education, like health and stuff like that. And of course, it has become more attractive for people to go out. But you need to wake up and smell the coffee. There's a reason why people are trying to get you out. So I say this all the time. If all the Americans, all the Nigerian doctors in America decided to come home, your hospitals in America would be half empty. I can tell you that for free. I had all my kids abroad, all of them, and it was just to give them a better life. I mean, I haven't gone back with my kids to live abroad other than going back and forth on holidays, but I can afford that. Not that many people can afford that. But I'm telling you that it's important to understand that the reality is, one of our weaknesses is that we're so fickle-minded, we're so gullible that everything that they tell us about Africa must be what it is. But this has happened from when Kunta Kinte, you know, the times of our forefathers. We cannot continue being slaves to our own growth as Black people. We can't.
You said that you studied abroad and you've worked for U.S. corporations and corporations in Europe, but you came back to Nigeria. Why?
Because I'm first-class citizen in Nigeria. And I know that I'm of better value to the world by being in Nigeria. I know that my country needs me. I know that my people need me. And I'm not going to go. It's cold and miserable out here. You know, in Africa, the weather is nice all year round. I mean, only when it's raining, but it's not as miserable as it is in London when it's raining. So all year round, it's tropical. What am I looking for? What is there to go to? I mean, I can take little doses of, you know, going on a holiday to anywhere in the world, and I love all the other countries I go to, but Africa, Nigeria is home. 7 years ago, And when I was talking about this, people thought I was crazy. But I'm saying, do you know what? I'm not paying $50,000 for me to get my family out on a weekend holiday to the States or to Europe. I'm not going to do that anymore because my economy is dwindling. I better start creating that holiday here. Because why not? If I go to America, I go in the summer. And it's hot in the summer in America. But I have good weather here all year round. So what am I? So it's those activities that will keep people here that we need to invest in. And Nigeria, if anybody hasn't told you, is a fertile ground. You know, the people who have the balls to stick with it, make it. There's two kinds of people. The ones who come here and think, oh, the airport was such a shamble. You know, everything was painful to go through it. You know, the people were just begging me for money. If you look past that, which is designed to be like that, if you look past that and you come into Nigeria and you meet actual Nigerians and you meet the people, I have a Japanese friend, a multi-billionaire Michelin star chef. His name is Hayato Morita. I invited him for my father's 80th birthday, the Alake's 80th birthday.
The King's 80th
birthday. And I can show you some pictures, right? I invited him to come here. And do you know what? He's come here 10 times after that. Whenever he comes, he doesn't even tell me that he's coming here. You know what he does? He goes to the slums in Makoko. I don't know if you've heard about Makoko, but it's a little piece of island somewhere in the Victoria Island area, where you have all the poor people living in wood thatched houses on the water. During COVID, none of these guys were sick. None of them were sick. We were all there getting all the jabs, the COVID vaccines and all the jabs. And now we see what it's doing to us. These guys weren't sick. They weren't sick. They don't have health care. They don't have good food. They don't sleep with fans or air conditioners. They were there and they survived it. There was no trying to isolate yourself from anything with them. Nothing like that. This is all they know. And they lived. And they were fine. I'm telling you, Hayato goes there. He's been there 10 times. He brings Wagyu beef from Japan because he has a beef farm. And he brings the beef from Japan and he goes and he sits with all the villagers and he cooks with them. I haven't even been to Makoko. This is a Japanese guy. But you know what? This guy has gotten to the point where people have told him about Africa. He has the balls to come and experience it himself. He has seen what Africa is for what it exactly is, and he has made a decision to keep coming back. He's given himself an African name.
He gave himself an African. That's hilarious.
An African name. So, for everybody who thinks that Africa still remains the dungeon.
54 nations of Africa, by the way.
Yes, exactly. If you're black and you need to find your roots, come home quickly. I'm telling you, Nigeria is hungry for you, and the intention is not to milk you. And you know what? If we milk you, isn't it better for your own to milk you than anybody else?
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City Mayor Eric Adams accuses rival Zohran Mamdani of supporting Hamas and using anti-Semitic rhetoric.
Clearly he has, and I think that Jewish voters are going to do an analysis to determine exactly where he stands on these important issues.
Mamdani, now the Democratic nominee, refused to condemn the slogan Globalize the Intifada, saying it's not the mayor's job to police speech. Two former presidents are thanking U.S. foreign aid workers as USAID winds down. Barack Obama called shutting the agency a mistake, praising its work fighting disease and building schools. George W. Bush thanks staff for saving lives, citing his AIDS relief plan. Most employees left Monday. And Derek Groves remains the only Orleans Parish jail escapee still at large. He's the last of 10 black men who broke out in May. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Join the Dodgers for Yoshinobu Yamamoto bobblehead night on July 2nd versus the White Sox. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in and take home a special Yamamoto bobble presented by A&A. Celebrate one of the National League's most dominant pitchers. Visit Dodgers.com/promotion.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man.
NBA free agency tipped off on Monday. The Lakers lost a key player. Forward Dorian Finney-Smith signed with Houston, 4 years at $53 million. The Clippers need to get younger in the offseason, but they signed a player who's 37 and another player who'll be 37 in December. Backup center Brook Lopez signed a 2-year deal with the Clippers for $18 million. Nicholas Batum re-signed with the Clippers for 2 years at $11.5 million. The WNBA is adding 3 new franchises: Detroit, Cleveland, and Philadelphia. The league will have 18 teams by 2030. Coco Gauff is back in action today for the first time since winning the French Open last month. The African-American star has a first-round match at Wimbledon against Diana Yastremska of Ukraine. Gauff is the number 2 seed at Wimbledon behind Arina Sabalenka of Belarus. Last year at Wimbledon, Gauff was eliminated in the round of 16. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, yo, come on. Pick up the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now, 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $498. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $498. What are you waiting for? Call 800-868-6431, 800-868-6431, and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
I really think, at least for the black folks that I know that are having this debate, the issue is really whether there's love there. Because you can come to Los Angeles and get milked too. Come on, you can get hustled in New York. Oh, you can get robbed in Oakland. I mean,
exactly in the Bronx. I got robbed twice in London, in the city of London on Oxford Street. I got robbed twice.
That's crazy.
So what are we talking about here?
So, yeah, I think, it's more an issue of love and acceptance. And one thing that I've noticed, this is our 8th trip, and we usually bring somewhere between 35 and 60 people. We're trying to make it smaller now. Yeah. Is that people come back. Just like your Japanese chef friend. They come back. We have people that have traveled with us every time. If they can afford it. If they can't, they come every other time. People always want to come back.
I'll tell you something. If nothing else works, I mean, you've been in Echo Hotel. It's the safest place. When Bill Clinton came to Nigeria, he stayed here. When Condoleezza Rice was here, she stayed here. When the French president was here, he stayed here. In terms of safety and security, this is the safe place for you to be. If for people who are a little worried, at least we're intentional about ensuring that Echo Hotel is, if you get here first, then you're safe. We can help you organize whatever it is you need to get anywhere else safely and securely. Don't believe all the very well curated stories about how dangerous Nigeria or Africa is. It is designed to make you scared of coming. But I can tell you, I can give you a list of 50 people that I know who have come here and, like you just said, keep coming back. You either catch the buzz, or you're like, you're too timid to just deal with the vibe of Nigeria. But there is a vibe. It's a beautiful vibe, I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. And it's vibrant. I think that people are starting to change their attitude little by little. More people are coming to Africa. But you talked, when we were off the microphone, you were talking about unity and why that's important and why some people might not want unity for us.
If Africa was decided to be intentional about uniting as a force, Europe did it. They did it. You have, I mean, today I need a visa to go to Kenya. Can you imagine that? I'm Nigerian and I need a visa to go to Kenya. It's like saying that you need a visa to go from LA to New York. I mean, it's madness. And this is why I'm saying to you, it is intentional that they don't want us to unite, because they understand what that uniting force can be. We are a global phenomenon. You see the skin on our body? It's a gift and it's a blessing. And yesterday is a little too late for this conversation that we're having. Today is the time to make an active decision to be intentional about uniting as Africans. And in my village, they say that the mouth and the teeth inside the tongue and the teeth in your mouth, sometimes you bite your teeth, clenches on your tongue, right? You bite yourself sometimes, but you don't say because you've bitten yourself, you want to pull your tongue out of your mouth. You don't. They still live together in there. No matter how bad and black and dark that they've painted us, we are still, you are my family. You are more my family than anybody else who's any other color skin is. So look, we're not all perfect, but white people don't live in disharmony when it comes to uniting. They don't do that. They don't say, oh, you are white from this place, or you're white from that place, or there's no divide like that. I'm telling you, it's intentional when they put it in our heads that we're different people. What does it mean to be African American? You're black. In Egypt, Egyptians don't think themselves black. That's how they have wired us to start thinking of ourselves as different people. Well, it doesn't make any sense.
Some of them are Arab, right? Arab descendants, but I understand what you're saying. No
religion intended. I don't care for the religion. I don't care. You can be whatever you want to be, religion-wise, but I'm saying, if the color of your skin is black and beautiful, then you are African.
You're melanated, yes, indeed. So, and I think unity is so important. It sounds like you're saying, one visa, and I've had this fantasy, I'll call it a fantasy, since November. I'm not going to say any more, but you might have some ideas of things that happened in November in my country, where it would be great to have some kind of, African American Africa visa, all African visa, because I think one thing that's happening right now in the United States, and you may know this because you're there all the time, is that more and more people are thinking about moving out, especially Black people, thinking about coming to Africa. And, a lot of people are interested. What would it take? How could I get a visa? Could I get citizenship? What are the opportunities there? And I always say, do your research and make sure you don't rush in, but explore. What do you say?
I'll say, if you explored, you will be better for it. Because at least you're not going off of what somebody's told you or what somebody's intentionally painted for you to perceive this as. You need to take the balls. You need to make a decision to just come and try it out. And don't try it out with a group of people that are intending to make you see the rot about Africa. Because, that's counterproductive. If you were thinking Nigeria when you're thinking to explore Africa, get the right kind of people to work with you and to show you around, I can put you in contact with as many returnees as I know, and I know quite a lot of them. And there's a lot of communities I'm in with Africans in the diaspora that we just constantly talking about this particular topic, about just coming back home and reinventing and reinvesting in Africa. I'm not saying, again, America is a beautiful country, and it has beautiful people. I
love my country, but I come here every year.
Yes. But if you there's a lot of Africans and Nigerians that have dual citizenship. Just what I'm saying. So there's nothing wrong in putting a foot in to where your roots were originated. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And you're doing yourself and the next generation from your lineage a disservice to deprive them of that opportunity. So, be the one that tries it. Nothing. What have you ever heard of anybody who came here and died or got killed? This is not the story. That's not the story. So, if that's the case, then what's the reason why you shouldn't try?
No, I haven't heard those stories. And people hearing you talking, I'm sure are thinking. People hearing you talking right now, I'm sure they're thinking, this is a very modern princess.
Okay, let me bust your bubble about that. I'm only a princess because I married a prince, right? And in my family, my maternal family are as regular as anybody. My mother is from Freetown in Sierra Leone, but she grew during the Sierra Leonean War. Her father came here as a refugee, and he settled here. Over 50 years. So Nigeria is home. I was raised by a single parent, by my mother. So I'm not your fancy Princess Cinderella type girl. That's not me. I'm a strict girl. I'm a hard worker. I run my businesses. I work with a hotel. I've been here for 15 years. I'm a successful woman. I empower other women. So I'm not selling you a princess story.
And you're PhD?
I'm a doctor, and it's not an honorary doctorate degree. I worked hard for my doctorate degree. And you know what? My thesis, my research work was on Lagos, the mega city status of Lagos State. I did a research, my thesis was about exactly what we're talking about. I wanted schools to be able to read. There's not a lot of journals or books or research about the possibility and opportunities that exist for tourists to come to Nigeria. And this was what I did. And I have a lot of case studies. Like I said to you, the last 7 years, I've been here. We started out with 30 families. Today, last year, we did 390 families. 40% of those were Africans in the diaspora and Europeans. So whether you like it or not, sweetheart, people are hearing the good things. So you decide what you want to hear. Nigeria is a beautiful country. The people are the most resilient, the happiest people. I'm telling you, if I looked at anything like what I was going through, you wouldn't believe it. Take any Nigerian to any country and he will thrive. He will reach the highest and the peak in anything. That's an art that African Americans want to come and learn. That resilience, that ability to just walk with all the problems that you have, just take it with pride and just roll with it. Understand that life will, throw you all sorts of stuff, but you will still just move on and still be happy while you're moving on. This is an art that is innate in the blood of Nigerians, and I don't think it's just Nigerians, black people. And if African Americans don't understand that, well, if there's no reason why you should come to Nigeria, that's one reason. Now, if it's love that you're looking for, that's easy. We have that in abundance. And I'm telling you, real love. If it's about loving, have you heard about Nigerian men?
I wasn't talking about that kind of love, but I have heard a few things.
Yes, so I'm trying to give you all the different genres of love so you understand that we'll give everything. It's the first time I'm meeting you, and do you know what? Just because you're the color of your skin, you're black like me, there's love already. And I was supposed to be going home, but I'm here talking to you.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And I do appreciate it. I do have to say there's going to be a lot of Black Americans or African Americans listening going, wait, we're resilient. We endured enslavement. They're killing our people. The police are killing our people right now while we're having this conversation. And we still thrive. We still built the whole doggone country that everyone thinks is so great. We made America into a superpower. We built the White House. We built that wealth. But I do know what you're talking about when it comes to the joy. But I think there's something about living inside of the superpower that hates you, that makes it, we find our joy, but it makes it, challenging.
I hear you 100% and I agree with you. And it's one of the reasons, it's part of the reasons why you find that this thing that you wonder whether it's love or not, this is exactly what it is. It's one of we see all that African Americans are doing in the States, but they're still Africans, and this is the missing link. This is where that connect is not happening. Can you imagine all that you're doing? Everything that you face there is against people who want to oppress you, right? But here, we oppress ourselves.
We do a little bit of that too, but yeah, it's unfamiliar. Yes, and I love this conversation because one of the reasons we do these trips and one of the missions of African Focus and KBLA, the radio station that I work for, Tavis Smiley, Dr. West, all of us, is to bring Africans and African Americans together, to spread accurate information about the continent, to do service here and there because there are children in need on both continents, and to have smart conversations with smart people, particularly smart women. So I think I thank you because I know you're staying after work and staying late to talk to me, but this is exactly what we came here for.
Do you know what? If I missed you today, I would have missed out on a big part of my life. I'm telling you, everything works for good. You guys have been here for a couple of days. I met a few of you upstairs at Sky, and today I just said to my staff, I think you need to talk to that group. I'm interested in understanding what it is that brought them here and, what they wanted to achieve and see if they actually achieved it. Because if they didn't, we want to be a part of achieving everything that you set out to achieve when you came here. So I may have missed out on this because you're leaving tomorrow, but I would never miss out on another opportunity to show you how beautiful my country is.
Well, we did achieve a lot of things. We had a wonderful time, and a lot of people came for the first time. Their eyes were open. Some people this is several trips with us. And the funny thing is, even though you just described you're a PhD, earned doctorate, you're a hardworking girl, you come from working class roots. But I have to say, I asked one of the staff at the hotel, I'm going to say about 3 days ago, I said, is she a movie star? Yeah. Because she's so glamorous. Look how she dresses in those shoes. And he said, no, she's part of our hotel staff. I said, I think she's a movie star. And they're just trying to trick me.
What? Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Thank you. But yes, I am afrocentric. And I love to look good because, I'm a salesman and people judge you whether you like it or not. And there's no way that I'm where I am now with all the struggles that exist trying to get up the ladder in any industry. And I've been through quite a few. that your brand is important, and I think that's what you see there.
I'm the same way, by the way. And just FYI, I mean, this is my traveling clothes. I know I look blah. But at home, I'd be like, in the heels. Yes. It's either heels or sneakers and suited and booted. They know I'm serious about my academics and my politics, but I'm always going to. So I'm saying that only because I really meant that. Like, I actually thought you were in the movies. I wasn't saying that like she cute. I was saying it like, do I need to go get her autograph? Do I need to go interview her? It was more of that kind of journalistic inquiry.
I'm not in the movies. I studied theater and performing arts, so maybe that's part of what you see there as well. I'm quite creative and artistic, and it just is expressed in how I dress and how I look and, just how I portray myself.
But this conversation was, I'm glad you're not a movie star because I doubt we would have gone this deep. And I thank you, for taking your time out to talk with me today. Is there anything that you want to add? We've covered a lot of topics, and I think, even this conversation by itself is going to bring a certain amount of unity, some deep thought for Africans in America, for African Americans in America. And it's funny because when we were in Kenya last year, some of the black women there told me I wasn't black because my skin is kind of light. My mom is Italian. My dad is black American. And so we got into a whole debate. And so it's so funny that you have a different perspective. But I just want to hand you the microphone, and whatever you want to say to the folks. We have people listening all over the world, but mostly in the United States. What message would you want to leave us with?
Guys, listen, I'm going to get a little emotional about this. My children, I have 3 boys, and my 3 boys have spent all of their lives exploring Europe, the US, the Middle East, and the UAE. And even my children don't know a lot about Africa. 5 years ago, I woke up to the reality that nobody will tell my story better than me. Now, if I can be an example of a good Nigerian, a good African, and you can be that, and another person can be that, then, and we intentionally tell the stories of you and I that are good examples of Africa, then you know what? It's inexcusable that you don't come back to that root. If you live a life with intentionality, it is understanding where you came from so that you have a fair idea of where you're landing. And if you deprive yourself of that, then it's a shame. Now, Africa is whatever everybody says about it, but it is still Africa. It is still the place that birthed black people. And if you're not going to give it anything, one time in your lifetime, the least you can do is come and try it out and see for yourself, because I'm leaving it, that everything that they've painted to you is not true about Africa. Some of it are true, but it's not everything that's true. And even what is true about it is good enough for you to be a part of changing it and making it that great nation that we all aspire for it to be. Because collectively, we will become a threat to the world. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be any other way. We shouldn't be second-class citizen on the continent. We should not be. We are the most brilliant, the most resilient. Has any other race or tribe been through anything that we've been through? I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame that these conversations are happening right now, but it's not too late. And all I'm saying is give it a try. Nigeria is a beautiful country. You have some people that are not so good, but that's like you have it everywhere else in the world. But there's a lot to see, even in the growth trajectory of Nigeria, even in the things that are not so perfect. There is the capacity for you, because your skin is black, to be that change that you desire, because you have to be that change. And the continent is ripe. It's ripe for it. We should have our place on the global map. We've earned it. So we should sit there head on with them and making the rules for the world. We should.
Thank you so much for letting me come to your office and have this conversation. It's much appreciated. I'm honored.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have done me more good. I'm going to go to bed tonight thinking, you know what? I've spoken to one more American, and I've said to her that Africa is a place that she needs to come back to. If that's all that I've done today, this is the highlight of my day. Thank you.
Thank you.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Dr. Iyaduni, it was so fun talking to someone with such passion for Africa, for uniting Africa, and all of her children, wherever they might be in the diaspora and Africa Rising. What a pleasure to meet her, a PhD and a member of the royal family. And we have met so many incredible people on this journey and still more to talk to. I wanted to bring you to the rooftop bar and restaurant where we celebrated Marjorie's birthday. Because if you were there, if someone transported you there, and I'm going to post this today, I swear you would think you were in downtown LA. It was nothing but skyscrapers, beautiful lights, a perfect warm night. And I don't know, I think Miles called them on this. They're already playing a lot of our music, but at the same time also playing the Afro beats. I swear I could have been at a rooftop bar in downtown LA, and it was absolutely beautiful. So I'm just saying that because I want you to start to visualize different things when you think of Africa. Beach resorts, safaris, bush, but also big cities, casinos, rooftop bars, hip hop.
Pretty women. Come on
women.
now. People here are not attractive people.
That out.
Huh?
You've been checking that out.
I got my eye open, you know what I'm saying? There's some pretty women out here, fellas. Just saying, don't let them lie to you about Africa. It's out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I probably am not supposed to say this on the radio, but some love matches have come out of these trips.
There we go.
Marriages, so it's men and pretty women and some handsome men too. That's not a service we provide,
right?
But it does happen because
love optional.
Love optional, absolutely. And I think it's also one of the places where you see all the commonalities. They're checking you out. They're checking out the local men are checking out the women on the tour. The women are checking out the men are checking out the girls. Let me not start a war. I was just going to give you my top 10, my top 5.
Shout them out. Go ahead. We got time.
Let me just say, in a word, Senegal. But I digress. Follow along. You'll see the pics. You'll hear the stories. And we appreciate you coming with us. Big shout out to Tavis Smiley, holding it down at the station he owns. Big shout out to Odell Bodie, keeping us on the air. And of course, Miles Lowe, producing on the fly, along with me doing my thing here. We appreciate you. And we will see you along the way. Benin, Nigeria, Ghana, we're going back and forth and in between. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New York City Mayor Eric Adams accuses rival Zohran Mamdani of supporting Hamas and using anti-Semitic rhetoric.
Clearly he has. And I think that Jewish voters are going to do an analysis to determine exactly where he stands on these important issues.
Mamdani, now the Democratic nominee, refused to condemn the slogan "Globalize the Intifada," saying it's not the mayor's job to police speech. Two former presidents are thanking U.S. foreign aid workers as USAID winds down. Barack Obama called shutting the agency a mistake, praising its work